Hi, I've come to the conclusion that manifestation is a form of art, and you must make room in your brain for thinking about yourself as an artist. Let me explain. A few days ago, I arrived home after work and I found an envelope in my mailbox. And guess what was in the envelope? A check for almost 1,000 euros. Yeah, apparently I was given a refund for taxes that I paid last year. Now listen, I have never ever received a check in the mailbox. Never in my lifetime. And I'm not that young. What I get in the mailbox is usually fines and taxes that I forgot to pay, or interest over fines and taxes that I forgot to pay. So much so that I always ask my husband to open the envelopes for me because I get anxiety from that. And this time he came to me and said, "Oh, you have some money in the envelope." Now, when he said that, at the beginning I thought it was weird. And then I remembered that a few weeks ago I saw someone on TikTok explaining how to manifest. I think it was $1,000. So that night I went to bed and I said, okay, I'll try it. And I thought how wonderful it is to have this 1,000 euros, extra euros in my bank account. And I focused on how comfortable I was feeling with some extra money that I just came as a gift. And I also thought about how comforting it felt to know that I am abundant and money keeps coming in my bank account. I even thought how nice it was to have that specific amount of money in my bank account that, although I couldn't see at the moment, would become available in 2 weeks. Now, I have no idea if I did this exactly 2 weeks ago, but how wide would that be? Kind of crazy, right? So the reason why I say that I kind of think that manifesting is a form of art is because you need to get into that groove. You need to be relaxed about it. You need to get into the idea that you have what you wanted, and so you don't need to keep wanting it. That is the key. So you want it, you think you have it, and you forget it. It's like when you create some art. You put all your passion and your focus and your effort into creating it, and then once it's done, it's out in the world and you can forget about it and pass on to something else. This is how manifesting works. And see, I got that envelope in the mailbox a few days ago, but I only thought about telling you today, now, because, yeah, at first when it arrived, I thought it was weird. Then I remember this whole process and it became a natural thing. Of course I get money in the mailbox. Of course I am abundant. This is the way I am. This is how I create my reality. This is how manifesting works. So I was happy. I am happy that I have some extra money. I live paycheck to paycheck, so having some extra money in my bank account is super cool. But I'm not overexcited right now because I was happy and I celebrated, and that's an important thing. You need to celebrate these things. But I celebrated it when, in my reality, it happened and it arrived 2 or some weeks ago when I thought about it in my bed before going to sleep. Then, at that moment, I celebrated having that money. Now it's a few weeks later. I don't need to keep celebrating. I move on. I will probably celebrate some more 1,000 euros now that I know how to do it. But yeah, you need to celebrate at the moment you create it, not when you visibly see it in reality, because you have had it already. And then you can leave it with that sort of detachment that you need in order to keep manifesting more and more. I hope I managed to pass on how to do that, because I think this is really the key. Have a great day.